What a crazy day we're about to have today. My name is Tom Nash, former senior financial analyst and currently a full-time YouTube personality, here to tell you what's going on in the stock market. A lot to cover today. Oil prices, and we have some hints where they're headed. Alibaba and a bunch of other Chinese stocks making waves again. Interesting. Tesla and Germany, the love affair is back on, and why the markets are not taking seriously Jerome Powell. Yesterday, he basically tried to put the brakes on this crazy rally we had last week, but it turned out to be a fart. Very loud and quite forgettable. So, why does the market ignore Jerome Powell's more hawkish approach? We're going to talk about all that, but as always, don't click nothing, don't smash nothing, don't buy nothing. Just listen. Let's do this. So the first thing we start with today is a massive thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you. A month ago, I said that this is your last chance to buy Tesla stock for $900. Now, the stock shortly dipped to around $800 or even a little bit less, prompting massive sales by haters, doubters, and people who didn't believe in Tesla. Now, I'm just saying, thank you. My friends and myself appreciate you selling to us the Tesla stock for around $800. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. Keep hating while I keep not taking stupid bets. I don't take bets against the US economy, against the US dollars, and against Elon Musk and Tesla. You keep betting against Tesla and see what happens. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because today is a monumental day. Elon Musk is going to be opening Tesla Giga Berlin today, another 500,000 vehicles per year of capacity, mainly Model Y and Model 3 are going to be made in Germany. So I guess the people who said that the Germans are coming were right. Germans will be making the best electric vehicle in the market right now. It just happens to be a Tesla. I mean, they were, I guess, 50% right. Now, jokes aside, the red tape that Elon will be cutting today is literally the red tape that he had to deal with almost symbolically in Germany. And you people from Germany and France, you know it. It's the worst bureaucracy to handle when you open a company and open a business, but it was worth it because the stability of this German facility is going to be unrivaled. Once you get through the red tape in Germany, you're golden. It's not going to be as risky and as exposed geopolitically like China. 500,000 vehicles in Europe, massive diversification as far as risk management, as far as capacity. And don't forget, oil prices are going up. What do you think it makes Tesla way more attractive? As it stands right now, there's massive supply of EVs in the market, and people are still waiting for 6, 7, 8, sometimes even a year until they get their Tesla. Now, with prices going basically berserk, EV demand is going to go up. Tesla is going to be in a crazy pandemonium of sales and demand. Thank you for hating. We love it. We appreciate it. See you at $1,000 real soon. And speaking of oil prices, $112 per barrel. This is insane. Up 50% on the year. Not as high as we've seen it right after the invasion, but still crazy high. What's going to happen with oil prices and why do you care? Well, the first thing is, why do you care? Well, because it massively impacts inflation, and if you hold any growth shares or any value stock, the performance of these equities will be insanely impacted what oil does. Believe it or not, oil is a building block in your economy, and the price of oil will impact everything. So the choice whether to take more defensive positions or more growth stocks and bet on a massive rally has to do with oil prices. That's the whole thing here. And again, the question is going to be whether oil prices keep going up or will they come back down? And of course, how much more money Warren Buffett will make, because no matter what happens, the dude makes money. Much like my Uncle Dima, who came here in 1984, to our apartment, he still lives here. Warren Buffett never left. The dude keeps banking year after year. Occidental. How smart does the man look right now? Insane. So shout out to Warren Buffett. Now, as far as oil prices and where they're headed, there's a lot of uncertainty in the market because of Russia, because of Ukraine, supply chain issues, sanctions. Massive uncertainty, massive fear is driving the price upwards. Now, it doesn't help that the entire world is coming out of a pandemic, so there's also massive demand. It also doesn't help that OPEC are very stingy with the supply for their own reasons. And you have this cluster freak right now, massive demand, big fears from massive producers, and a lot of issues going on that basically may or may not untangle this. If OPEC play ball, that's going to lower the price. If Russia and Ukraine work out a deal, that's going to lower the price. If both these things doesn't happen, prices will go up. It's as simple as that. Nobody really knows. But so far, it seems that OPEC are not playing ball, and it seems that Russia and Ukraine are not really getting closer to a deal. So at this point, it seems that oil prices for the meanwhile will continue to be elevated and extremely volatile. Now let's talk about inflation. What just happened yesterday with Jerome Powell? Jerome Powell went on TV, I think intentionally, trying to slow down the market because the last time he was on TV, it didn't work. We had a crazy week, crazy rally. The S&P 500 went up by 6%, and Jerome Powell was basically way more hawkish yesterday. Come out and say, hey, more rate hikes, possibly. Higher rate hikes, possibly. More inflation, possibly. Basically giving all the right signals to slow down this market. Now, it worked to an extent. The markets have stopped the rally, but nothing beyond that. So what happened? Why did this head fake didn't work for Jerome Powell? That was my version of a head fake. Well, the reason is because it is still historically low. 0.25 plus 6 hikes or 0.25 plus 8 hikes or 10 hikes or 12 hikes, it's still 2 to 4% interest, extremely low historically. I know we've all been used to the 0% thing. But listen, 2 to 4% is quite cheap. It's still a party time. Now, the other thing is we're all fed up with this BS from the Fed. Nobody's buying the shit anymore. We're immune. His credibility is in the toilet after the whole transitory campaign that was, went up in flames like an old fart, very loud, very noisy, but smelly and forgettable. And even he admitted yesterday that this thing fell apart like a house of bricks. A house of bricks? I mean, the house of bricks should be fine. I mean, the house of cards maybe, but it fell apart. And the question is, what's going to happen next? Look, whether we see 0.25 or 0.5 going forward, it don't matter. And the main reason is it seems that the market have already priced in massive increases beyond what the Fed has already announced. Look, 8% inflation, elevated oil prices, it seems like it's inevitable will go way higher than 2 or 4%, assuming they can work out the US debt problem. Now, if that's the case, this little 0.25, 0.5 head fake that he tried to do yesterday is not that effective. That's why you saw the market pretty much say, and move on. Jerome Powell seemed to have lost his ability to get the market to do his job for him. If you do a little head fake, the market corrects, you may not have to raise interest anymore, right? At this point, he's down to his last tools, which is basically actual rate hikes, because the credibility of the Fed is basically in the toilet. Nobody believes them anymore. Let's see what happens. And let's talk about the Alibaba Festival 2.0. It's again in the news, buying more shares, upping from 15 to 25 billion buybacks. Massive. The market is loving it. And also, on the same day, interestingly enough, the Chinese government says, hey, Alibaba, JD, and Baidu, be ready to prepare for more scrutiny on your financials. Now, that's a very interesting coincidence, right? The Chinese government is again signaling more openness the second time in a couple of weeks, right? And more buybacks. It almost seems like somebody's interested to raise the price of the shares of Baba. Who knows? But here's the thing. Here's the part I don't understand. And no hate on Baba, because Baba in itself is a great company. I don't like the VIE structure. I don't like the Chinese government as a geopolitical risk. I think China is uninvestable as a country. It's like one of those Russian restaurants. You know how in Russia, in Soviet Russia, you had restaurants that served employees of factories and it was all roach infested, and you had rats and flies, and the food was pretty much, not edible. I mean, really dangerous. And every time you had like an official visit, they would let the people in the restaurant know, and it would be pristine, beef stroganoffs and, wine, champagne and shit. It's the same thing. What are you preparing for? If you're already US GAAP compliant, why do you need to prepare for an external audit? I think that's a mistake by the Chinese government, basically showing their cards a little bit of the level of said compliance to US GAAP. But let's see what happens. And no hate to everybody who makes money off Alibaba. Good for you if you made money. Right on. The thing is, look, there's a reason why Chinese companies are priced at a fraction of comparable US companies. That's not because they're living in a great geopolitical environment. You know what I'm saying? So I'd rather pay a premium and invest in stable US companies which are living according to rule of law and cannot be nationalized. Their CEOs cannot be thrown in jail or prison or worse. I just like to pay a premium for a better product. That's just me. But if you make money off Alibaba, good for you. No issues at all. As always, a huge shout out to our channel members and our patrons. If you want to join our Patreon channel memberships, it's $5 per month. The link is going to be below. If you join today, we're actually watching a Russian movie called Brat. on Discord all together, and I'm kind of narrating the movie. Check it out. Try to join today, but we will watch more movies. I mean, you don't have to join today, but if you will, it's going to be cool. We don't really sell anything behind the paywall there, but just a kind of a hangout for the community. If you want to support us and support this comment, come join us, $5 per month, and I'll see you there. Thank you.